An alleged LA gang leader, Eugene Henley Jr., is heading to trial. He was named in a 43-county federal indictment. He pleaded not guilty during his arraignment. Prosecutors accuse Henley of running a criminal enterprise involving murder, human trafficking, robbery, and extortion. They also say Henley, known as Big U, has ties to the notorious Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips street gang. His trial is scheduled.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as we all seen the breaking news a month or so ago where Big U and several others were indicted on RICO charges, as they are now talking about the next step where the trial is supposed to start on May 20th. But news broke today that there's some discrepancies as others do not want to use their right to the fast and speedy trial as Big U has, because that is rather quickly for it to start within just a couple weeks. And that revealed that they have a lot of new evidence that they are supposed to be presenting in the courtroom as well. Eugene, Big U's Henley co-defendants in this federal RICO case want to push back their trial, scheduled to start later this month. Their attempt to do that has brought something startling to the light: the sheer volume of evidence in the case. In a new court filing, the government reveals that it has a mountain of material against the former Nipsey Hussle manager and 6 co-defendants. Included in that pile are, prosecutors say, 20,000 intercepted audio calls, as well as numerous surreptitious audio and video recordings. In addition, there are law enforcement reports, search warrants and returns, criminal history documents, recordings, and photographs. In total, about 60 gigabytes of material. On top of having to sort through such a huge amount of evidence, many of the co-defendants' lawyers are also scheduled to handle their trials for a number of other criminal cases, some of which overlap with the planned trial start date of May 20th, 2025. There's one person who objects to this change, Big U himself. Despite the fact that his own lawyer has an entirely different trial scheduled to start one day before his, he still wants to proceed as originally scheduled. The judge in the case, A. Joel Richland, has not responded to the request for a delay as of this writing. Big U is accused of running a massive criminal network as far back as 2010 and using a Rollin' 60 Crips gang and other associates to carry out various violent crimes, assault and murder, extortion, and more. In the indictment that landed Henley in custody, one of the intercepted calls from the January 2023 shows the music executive having another conversation with a colleague about what he's capable of doing. Now, basically what they getting across with this new evidence coming out, this has came to the light because of some of the people on the RICO case with Big U. They don't want to start trial on May 20th. They want to get a little bit more time. Lawyers have other cases, including Big U's, but this happens when these trials start up. Sometimes, most of the time, they do push them back. Let's just call it for what it is. But certain people, when they in there fighting, they're like, hey, man, I want to get my trial right away. I'm innocent, as Big U has claimed. Hey, I want to get this out the way. I'm not trying to sit behind the wall. Give me my fate right now. What are we waiting on? They just trying to build a case and collect more evidence, maybe, is what he might be thinking. Of course, they have said that they have corroborators, they have witnesses in this. They said that is a lot. 60 gigabytes of evidence, bro. That's a lot of evidence to have. 20,000 calls. That's a lot. That means they just been sitting on everything you've been doing on your phone.
Not guilty. That's the plea Big U entered. He was arraigned on his charges. But Big U is looking at a major uphill battle, and the battle of a federal trial could soon begin as early as next month. According to his federal indictment, Big U ran a criminal enterprise that they call the Big U Enterprise. Court documents say the Big U Enterprise is a mafia-like organization that utilizes Henley's stature and long-standing association with the Rollin' 60s and other street gangs to intimidate businesses and individuals in Los Angeles. Federal prosecutors claim Big U is known and regarded as a leader within the Rollin' 60s Crips, and his time with the gang dates all the way back to the 80s, where he rose up the ranks after earning his rep as an enforcer. So what do the feds have on him? According to the indictment, agents have confidential human sources, wiretaps, search warrants for social media, iCloud, Google accounts, financial records from individuals and companies or organizations, toll records showing communications between conspirators, victims, and Big U Enterprise members and associates, cell phone records, records from the city of Los Angeles, interviews from witnesses and victims. Now, essentially, they claim to have a lot on him, especially since the investigation launched in 2021.
Now, if they present this in court, if you said anything illegal, done anything illegal, and I'm going to be real, they're not going to say they have their case built. Let's keep it a band. They already got the people giving the information that they want, that they can present in court. I'm not saying nobody did nothing. I'm not saying all of this stuff is true. It was not true. But somebody has handed them something that they claim that they got you on. It will come out in trial, these things that they speak of, if these things are true. But if you got somebody giving them all the evidence, giving them the information, they got your phone tapped, they ain't gonna just come on here and say we got all this evidence and they ain't got none of it. So just them being able to put any just small things together. Plus, if you go to trial, the people are gonna go testify. They are gonna appear in court and they gonna point you out on the stand as, hey, he did this, he did that. Yes. When you go to the feds, they go do be to go ahead and get you up out of there and get you to plead guilty to these things if you want to go to trial or not. But Big U facing life, what does he have to lose? You got to go to trial. You got to fight for it. You got to go for the gusto. I go to prison. It's one or two options. I either go to trial and lose and go get the time that I was going to get anyways, as much as life. But this is how the game go at times, man. Just keeping it all the way 1,000. Innocent till proven guilty. It's that long, dark road that I be talking about, man. When it get real in the field, dog, don't nobody want to go through this. Everybody got family. Everybody got kids. Everybody got loved ones, people that care about them, people that they care about. And when you go down this road, this is what they're going to separate you from. This is what they're going to do. They're going to lock you away from the outside of the world. So I could just say this, bro. If you did these things, this is that accountability part. This is for anybody, though, not just anybody on this case or this situation. This is the other side of this where, hey, we seeing it right now in real time. It's just seen as entertainment as certain people. Certain people are, oh, this is entertainment. This is just something to watch. But nah, nigga, this is real life. It don't get no realer than this. And you don't want to be in this situation, man. You got to avoid these type of things that cost. So when you moving with these type of accusations, we ain't gonna say he did it, but with these accusations right here, these things have happened in the past. This is always gonna be the end result if you commit and you are dedicated to doing things that harm others. That just is what it is. And I'm not talking about making a little money, catching little plays, hustling and things like that. You know, that's whatever. We talking about like physical harm. They talking about extortion. They talking about abuse. They talking about robberies. They ain't gonna let those type of things slide. Getting money for charities allegedly, and just putting the money in your pocket. They ain't gonna let that type of stuff slide. Putting fear on the people, it ain't gonna never work out, bro. Just keeping it all the way 1,000. The rain is gonna come to an end if you really out here living like that. But we shall see. That 20,000 is a crazy number. That is wild, man. Tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos, all that. 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.